Dad, I know that smile. Your dad touched Mom's butt. I know that smile.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Don't play dumb with me.
Yeah, tell him you're not going to touch my butt.
I'm not gonna touch her butt.
Okay, I know that smile.
No, it's just bright out. The sun, it's making me squint a little.
Well, hello there, partner. Go on and hang up your hat, grab yourself a whiskey, and pull up in the easy chair. We're coming off the range of 9 to 5s with a whole herd of news stories that we've been steaming over like a cow patty in the Texas heat. As they say, the chickens are finally coming home to roost. And we're here to ruffle some feathers and ensure accountability ain't just a concept, it's reality. It's that time where the day's drama casts its longest shadow. So let's light a candle to the chaos of current events, the whirlwind of politics, and the tangled webs of corruption that we find ourselves entwined by. It's time to ramble our way into the twilight. Welcome to Sunset Rants.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sunset Rants. It is the Thursday edition. We have Nevassa in the house today. I hope you guys had a great week. We are closing it out with some fun stuff. How are you doing today, my friend?
Oh, we are professional streamers here, good sir. And by professional, I mean I definitely did not forget to turn off my mic.
I do it sometimes too.
I muted my for the entire first words.
No worries.
But yes, I hope you're doing well, Mr. Tay.
Absolutely, my friend.
This week's been a grind for me. Four 12-hour shifts, still adjusting to night shift. So definitely glad to see this week over.
Oh man, what time are you going to bed?
8 a.m.
Oh fuck. That sounds horrible. I'm sorry, dude. But hey, you gotta pay the bills somehow. So that's just what it is.
Hey, I ain't gonna complain about a 15% shift diff, but you know what? You know what we are gonna go ahead and start complaining about? I'm just joking. But no, like I said earlier in the comments, thank you guys for getting Rise of Middle America to over 1,000 subs on YouTube. Thank you guys very much. I know that happened last week, but EKO with work. But it is a huge deal, especially as tiny tubers as we are. Getting over that first 1,000 does go ahead and allow the channel to get seen more and more by the algorithm. And slowly but surely, we will continue to grow over 1,000 subs now. Hopefully, we can 10x that within the next year or two. Hopefully. But speaking of growth and people that are hell-bent to make sure that it doesn't happen, the Democrats in the Senate hell-bent on keeping the government shut down for minuscule things, all things considered. You agree?
Why not? Of course I agree, man. That's redundancy right there.
And the Hill puts it the best. And yet we still have this one senator that is trying to make things work. And I do appreciate the compromiseness of the Republican Party. But at some point in time, you have to learn that children throw temper tantrums. And you don't accommodate temper tantrums, such as the Democrats. But from the Hill, we've got Senate Majority Leader John Thune is throwing a curveball into the shutdown fight as he plans to bring a full-year spending bill for the Pentagon. to the floor on Thursday, effectively daring Democrats to oppose it as a part of their push to keep healthcare at the front of the impasse. Democrats have been almost completely united in their opposition to the GOP's, quote, clean bill, unquote, to fund the government through November 21st. The Senate voted against the House-passed continuing resolution for the 9th time on Wednesday, with another vote on the stopgap expected on Thursday. But Thursday's vote on the defense bill represents more of a gamble, and leaders on Wednesday largely said they hadn't yet decided what to do. The full-year bill is the result of a bipartisan appropriations process and passed out of the committee on a 26-3 vote earlier this year. And it would fund military paychecks that could be on the line again if the shutdown drags on until the end of the month. At the same time, Democrats want to appear steadfast in their opposition to the Trump administration and note that they've gotten no guarantees about what Republicans could attach to the defense bill once it clears Thursday's procedural hurdle. Quote, "It seems like it's a hard vote because they all say they want a normal appropriations process and we're trying to give them one. I get it. It's in the middle of a shutdown, which is a complicating dynamic here," John Thune said to The Hill on Wednesday. "We need to get the appropriations process going either way," he said. "If we're sitting around here voting every day and they keep voting to keep the government shut down, we need to be trying to move the needle on some of the other stuff that we need to get done." Told you, Republicans caving to temper tantrums.
How it always works, man. It's literally been like that forever.
I know.
Like,
look, we've already got the point where the narrative, we've already got the narrative that says the Democrats have gone ahead and shut down the government for the 9th time on a clean resolution that they passed well before the shutdown even started. So the narrative is sticking that it's a Democrat shutdown, the Schumer shutdown, as we come to know and love. So at what point in time can you just say, screw you, Democrats, you're the ones that don't want a clean resolution to pass, therefore, yippee-ki-yay, you reap what you sow.
here's the thing. They're always going to fold. I don't know what to tell you. They're just old pussies. And they're just laydowns, and they're taking money on the side. They're just... And I knew when I read like the headline of this article earlier today, that you were going to have a blast. Is your favorite subject?
Oh,
your favorite
I told our allegedly godlike producer that he has activated all of my tisms on this episode.
And there's a lot of them.
And it's only going to be one tism worse than the last.
No, so I mean, what do you think is going to actually happen now for all of this?
Are you asking what do I think is going to happen, or what do I hope happens?
Let's go with both.
So realistically, because next year's midterms are already going to be planned out as to who's going to be candidates and who's going to be running, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
It'll be the Democrat senators that are in the least safe positions or the most vulnerable seats that are going to be most likely to go ahead and flip one way or the other. So from the Democrat side, what I was going to say is that from the Democrat senators, the ones that are going to be the hottest or hardest to retain are going to be John Ossoff out of Georgia. Technically, Gary Peters out of Michigan. He is not running for re-election, so he doesn't give a damn. Nor will Dick Durbin.
Yeah.
And because of everything that's going on in Chicago, Dick Durbin, there is a very, very small but very, very possible chance that a Republican may get elected out of Illinois. Especially if the Trump the Trump sending of the National Guard into Chicago actually jades enough people in Chicago that they see the light. And at least according to sources like the liberal hive mind, the black voters are actually starting to see the game that is being played against them, and they're ditching the Democrat Party left, right, and center.
No, absolutely.
So,
and that's a big thing that you mentioned, is that they are coming to awareness that they've just been like pandered through the entire time. And with the shutdown, the Schumer shutdown, as if you said, oh man, I just totally had a brain fart in the middle of this. Now, yeah, with the pandering and all this stuff, people are starting to kind of realize this. With the POTUS, all the things that he's doing, like just like 10 years of just like the constant lying to the manipulation, and then with the Chuck Schumer thing going on, the Schumer shutdown, as you were saying, that going on, it's people are starting to realize like they don't care about their constituents. It's just all a game to them. It's their crybabies. They throw their.
Now here's one for you.
Huh?
Speaking of shutdowns and temper tantrums, you want to know whose Senate seat is sneaky under fire and they don't want to advertise it yet?
Tell me.
Spartacus himself, Cory Booker. Because there are polls coming out saying that the governor race in New Jersey is split. It's dead heat between the Democrat and the Republican candidate, Jack Ciattarelli. And if New Jersey elects a Republican governor, you know damn well that is going to be a Goliath-sized shot across the brow, if you will.
Yeah. So I would really love to see that happen, because this guy, he has just such an ego. Like, he thinks he's more important. I guess all of them think they're more important than they truly are, just for the fact of just how they portray themselves, what they do. Like, it's all just it's all crocodile tears. They don't do anything. Like, they'll do like these big grandstands, or they'll show it, and they'll like things just for just for the theater of it. And it's just I would love to see that happen.
But yeah, like I was telling another guy about this, just because him and I talk this stuff all the time. Much like being a CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company, or now multi-trillion-dollar company, you have to have an absurd amount of psychopathy to be able to handle the job. You have to be a psychopath to be a politician. Either that or a masochist.
Or just a really greedy person.
Psychopathy. But no, at the end of the day, what I'm actually looking forward to is seeing how the state of Virginia reacts to those Jay Jones texts about wanting the family of one of his political rivals, as he put them, definitely no longer walking the earth, as it were.
Oh yeah, but of course I know where you're going with this. So they're not going to care. Like, they're not going to say, "Oh, sorry." They're not going to run down or anything like that. But that is such a great timing for you to bring that up, because that's going to bring us into our next.
Aww.
Fantastic.
Aw, you're catching on.
Yeah.
Only because JD Vance said grow up.
Yeah.
Your turn.
I'll take this one on. Following report this week that several members of Republican organizations shared messages in a group chat using slurs. Now, this is coming from ABC News. Some GOP leaders called for resignation of young Republicans who allegedly texted slurs, race, and racist messages. Apparently, they've never been in a group chat of any from anybody. Some GOP leaders are sounding the alarm and calling for their fellow party members to resign. Congressman Phil Scott of Vermont called out State Senator, head of Vermont's Young Republican chapter, Sam Douglas, saying he should resign immediately and leave the party over his alleged involvement in a group chat on Telegram messaging program, which was first reported by Politico. The hateful statements made in this group chat are disgusting and unacceptable. The vile, racist, bigoted, anti-Semitic dialogue that has been reported is deeply disturbing, and there's simply no excuse for it. Of course, we all know racism. There's no excuse for it. Like,
black people can't be racist. What you talking about?
my group chat with the boys is called the Diddy Party. Like, it's just total bullshit.
Okay.
Yeah, no, but it's all self-deprecating jokes against each other. Like, we're all best friends, like different walks and different races alike. Like, it's just all self-deprecating stuff.
And here I am having a group Discord called Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated.
Oh no. So no, but it's the fact of the matter is, like, we joke on each other, we make fun of each other, but I think it's going into like the boomer and the new stuff. No, I do agree. Like, just racism in general is terrible. Like, we can all agree that it's disgusting. It's just uncalled for. But if you're not calling to actually like hurt others, like actually truly mean and do stuff, like, get the fuck over it. And so the rest of it says, according to Politico's report, the Telegram messages were exchanged between the leaders of young Republican chapters in Arizona, Vermont, Kansas, and New York. See, now here's the difference. If you are holding up, like, if you're in something up like there, like a term of power, if you would, you shouldn't be talking like this, because this stuff gets out and it looks horrific for you. Horrific. Let's see. At least one member of the Telegram chat currently serves in the Trump administration, which does not help at all. Like, you guys have to know better. ABC News has not independently verified the Telegram chat. So it has not verified it, but it has just heard it. Now here's the thing. Now here's the difference going from what you had mentioned earlier with what's his face from Virginia actually calling for the death.
J. Joe
calling for this stuff. That is completely different. Like, this guy said this like in confidence, stern fact of the matter. We've seen it. And then you have like these old boomers who, you're talking about, bending the knee to Democrats. We are appalled by the violent, inexcusable language revealed by Politico's article published today, such as behavior and disgraceful, unbecoming of any Republican, stands in direct opposition to the values it represents. The YRNF Board of Directors said in a statement Tuesday, adding that those involved must immediately resign from all positions within their state and local young Republican organizations. The chair of Kansas GOP party, Dimitri Herbert, announced Tuesday that the state's young Republican chapter has been deactivated. These comments do not reflect the beliefs of Republicans, and certainly not Kansas Republicans at large, who elected a black chair a few months ago. So the guys in the group chat, let's see, months ago, the statement as parts of the Republicans. Other Republican state chapters around the country have denounced the text messages, of course, including North Carolina, Missouri, Georgia, and Ohio. I can guarantee you these are just all bullshit memes. Some members of the group accused of being involved in the group chat have since vacated their post. Political reporter, including Peter Giunta, former chair of New York. Giunta, thank you. I don't know if anyone's caught on. I cannot pronounce last names. Former chair of New York Republicans, who also worked for a New York Assembly member, and Joseph Malino, a lawyer for the New York group. Dude, lawyers just do more cocaine than anyone in the world. I'm not worried about that. According to Political report, Giunta sent a message reading, "I love Hitler," and also made jokes referencing gas chambers. I would love to see the context of these so I can laugh. ABC News has reached out. Telling you.
Fucking Brian.
What did he write?
Our alleged producer, quote, "I've literally seen worse shit in Tim Pool's Discord."
Yeah, it's because it's like it's saying it's the context of what's being said and how it's being said. New York Republican says Mike Waller and Lisa Stefanik have condemned the rhetoric. As you always should. But I want to see what this chat is. With all the writing on X that the members of the New York chapter who participated should resign, relationship. Okay, so it's the same thing going over and over again.
Okay, you gotta remember, half the piss stream media's content is just regurgitated shit from one outlet to the next, an entire circle jerk of media outlets self-referencing each other, so that way they don't get all the liability and they get all the protection. Because that's the way yellow journalism has become today. Because fuck you, Sullivan's v. New York Times.
What?
Supreme Court case.
Okay. Sorry, I caught me so off
Sorry.
guard.
Sorry, just a little too much knowledge for my own good.
No,
But
you're
no,
good.
in all seriousness, I appreciate the JD Vance E4 Mafia stance of grow the fuck up.
Yeah. And then
Which,
obviously he's not. He's married to like a brown chick. He has mixed kids. It's just like, hey, it's get over it. Grow up. Like, there's a difference. Clearly, like I said, and I know everyone understands, like I have dark humor. There's a difference between having dark humor and saying like just like some spicy memes that are obviously not meant for
they are
any
definitely
harm or
at an
any truth.
SFW.
Yeah, of course. But it's like what these news organizations, what they do is they feel so high and mighty. Like they try to run everyone out who goes against them on some virtuous thing, while they are the least virtuous, like, of them all in true life and reality.
So, I actually read something from a very well established Christian pastor by the name of Cliff Knechtle, or Neckley, however it's pronounced. Knetchle. The guy came to the conclusion and espoused that the most common form of sin that is produced comes from the sin of pride. They are so prideful, so arrogant to go ahead and espouse that I am better than you, that I am superior to you, up to and including hubris. That's what the piss stream media has these days, because they know they can't compete with the common marketplace, especially of the attention-seeking whores that are the podcasters. So when the piss stream media has to compete with podcasters and they are getting their asses handed 8 ways to Sunday, to the point where the 2024 presidential election was decided by podcast visits, when Donald Trump visited the Joe Rogan podcast during the campaign, Kamala Harris had to adjust and go to "Who's Your Daddy?"
Oh, that was a horrific thing. And I'm glad that you brought this up, because it really shows the fact, like, they are desperate. Like Tim Pool, like he even said, is like CNN, all them started going after him. Like they started going after him because on his light show, like if you had like a light audience on live, it would still be doing more, by the next morning as far as viewership and reviews than what they would do like all night. And that's nationwide access on at all TVs. And it just shows like how can they bring people in? How can they gather an audience? How can they get, oh, hey, let me follow this story into this?
At the end of the day, we know that they are desperate. We know that they will do anything and everything to get an upper hand of sorts, to make themselves look good. And what pisses me off the most about the Republican Party is, why are you trying to appease to a base of people that will never change their opinion of you thereof? Not only that, but I can't repeat that, Brian, but I know you're right. But no, as I was saying, we know that the podcasters are going to eventually consume the media. Like they will be the new medium of informational exchange if they haven't already, which is why it was such a big fucking deal that Elon bought Twitter and did all the algorithmic changes that went with it. Now, as far as what we are seeing today, it's It's actually kind of refreshing, if you will, that we're seeing young people. Is that some fucking booger sugar going on in the background there, good sir?
I heard it too. I think it was just he was yawning or something.
I'm sure it was. I'm just saying that I did not know that
Focus.
God got his hands on city stuff.
Keep your train of thought, buddy.
But no. No. I've got a train of thought. It's going somewhere. It just had to make a stop first. But no, all I'm saying is that it's actually kind of refreshing that the younger generation, they are going ahead and coming back to the Xbox era chat rooms of Halo and Call of Duty, where you could say every slur under the sun, every name under the sun, and no one got butthurt about it.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
there's
just what I
definitely to
saw.
it. Like, you still have to have like a self-couth about it, but it's not. People are starting to realize like you don't have to always be upset about something. Like just like instantly triggered.
Yep.
Like, oh my god. Like.
And by
I'm
the
gonna freak out.
way, you want to know which group of people embody that sort of mentality to the point where I don't give a damn what you have to say. I thought it was funny. You want to know which group of people is the best for that? It's the Marine Corps. The Marine Corps birthday. I believe it is November 13th. It's coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, it is.
And you know who's getting ready for the Marine Corps birthday? Because, of course, it's the 250th anniversary. Good old Camp Pendleton. From CBS News. Camp Pendleton hosting live fire event to celebrate the Marine Corps birthday. Following concerns that its live fire event will cause a traffic gridlock near Camp Pendleton. Oh my God, they've never been to a military base. The Marine Corps assured residents that it will not close nearby freeways during its 250th anniversary celebration. Oh, I understand. All training events will occur on approved training ranges and comport with established safety protocols, the Marine Corps wrote in a statement. Quote, no public highways or transportation routes will be closed. The media release for the demonstration stated that Vice President J.D. Vance would join the 15,000 personnel, veterans, and their families during the celebration. The Marine Corps added, the Marine Corps added in a later statement that the White House production office will record the demonstration for a TV broadcast, which would air on November 9th. California Governor Gavin Newsom's office criticized the White House for its, quote, lack of coordination and communication during planning for its event, leaving state officials in the dark about potential impacts on the nearby I-5 freeway. California always honors our Marines, but this isn't the right way to go about it, Newsom's press office wrote. The White House. Goddamn. The White House should focus on paying their military, lowering grocery prices, and honoring these soldiers for their service instead of pompous displays of power. The lack of coordination and communication from the federal government on this event and the overall impact to our society and economy is evident of a larger disarray that is the Trump administration. Newsom, I got 2 points for you right fucking here. I'm sorry, that was a bit much on my rant.
Yeah, just a little bit. But here's the thing. He's going and saying this, but he's still in the same pocket with the people who want to keep the government shut down.
Not only
like,
that,
he's saying, he's like, oh, where's the disorganization? There's none. He's like talking about like mismanaged money, 250 years, that's pretty solid. That's a quarter of a millennia. That's pretty impressive. So then we have that. And we've already acknowledged like we're gonna be using like whatever money we have, that we can use to pay, our military personnel. So wherein lies the issue? Again, these people will just complain about something and it won't matter to them.
Not only will it not matter to them, but they want to complain just for the privilege of being angry. They don't want a solution. They just want to be angry. And not only that, but as far as I'm concerned, the Marine Corps will do whatever the Marine Corps wants because the Marine Corps is the one branch of the military you do not fuck with. Like, you can fuck with Chair Force all you want, and they won't do a damn thing because they're too professional for that. The Army, you can fuck with the Army all day long because the Army is going to be too busy having to deal with the consequences of their MREs. And in the Navy, we're just out to sea. You don't see us anyways.
Yeah, I wonder if like any money is gonna be allocated, like from the Navy into this as well. Like
I doubt it. I doubt it because the Navy's birthday was 3 days ago now.
Yeah.
And the Marine Corps is very, very touchy.
Just their money is just so much larger. Like their pockets are so much deeper.
Well, yeah. How else do you think we dress our Ken dolls the best?
I don't know.
And this is coming from a submariner, good sir.
No, that's called a seaman.
That was my rank. That was not my diet. Thank you.
Whenever you talk about
But
it,
no, as far
because you worked in a submarine, right?
9 years.
Yep. Whenever you talk about it, I always remember of what's it called? Of Austin Powers, and he's like, "What's long, hard, and full of seamen?" And he's like, "The submarine."
Oh yeah, trust me. Austin Powers will never get old. But no, as far as what Gavin Newsom said, think everything under the sun. Think everything that every Democrat is hypocritical of, and that's all you need to know. We start with the French Laundry, and then we go to grocery prices.
They're just
they're always going to find something. But no, I will stand as a testament, as a witness, that you cannot understand the Yellow Submarine song from the Beatles unless you're drunk. You have to be drunk to listen to the Yellow Submarine to understand the song. That's all I'm saying. But again, fuck you, Rick. I saw that. I see that comment. No, that was my rank, not my diet.
Invested 20.
Oh god. Okay.
Oh, that's a good one.
So, story time. So, there was a ship. I forget the name, but they were going ahead and being protested by Greenpeace. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There was Marines involved because the Marines were pivotal for this. But Greenpeace was doing a peaceful sea protest because they were complaining that the ships were going ahead and screwing over the whales by using radar and screwing with the whales' senses of echolocation and whatnot. So Greenpeace decides to go ahead and stage a protest. Well, they get too close to the boat. They get too close to the ship, and the Marines that were on the ship at the time, because it was a joint ship. It was basically a taxi. The Marines, they said they want to get some fun in. So they start taking the water hoses off the deck and start blasting all of Greenpeace with it as a form of resistance. Get away from us. You are too close.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Greenpeace, they're big on the climate change stuff because they're trying to preserve the environment, protect the whales, stop the global warming, or now what they call climate change. Oh, I know Fat Electrician has a better story, okay? I don't have 35 minutes to expose my tism to the nth degree like Fat Electrician does, Brian. Thanks for calling me out, asshole. But no, there's a point to this. They all said that the Greenpeace argument for climate change was that because the climate was warming up and that people were going ahead and going to die because the water was going ahead and going to rise up, all the CO2 was going to cause the earth to get stupid warm, stupid quick, and like we're going to lose everything by 2100 or something. Yeah, sorry to burst your bubble there, assholes, but Australia's got you beat in the dumbest way possible.
All right, so what's going on with the story?
So, you know that trees, typically speaking, they go ahead and perform photosynthesis. So carbon dioxide comes in, oxygen comes out, right?
Yeah.
That's typical. Well, Australia went ahead and they took their tropical rainforest trees, okay? The trees were supposed to go ahead and produce oxygen. Well, as a byproduct of this experiment and test, they accidentally turned the trees into a carbon emitter because they fucked up which trees to put in, amongst a whole bunch of other issues. So, from The Guardian, Australian tropical rainforest trees switch in world first from carbon sink to emission source. Because fuck you, Greenpeace. Australian tropical rainforest trees have become the first in the world to switch from being a carbon sink to an emission source due to increasingly extreme temperatures and drier conditions. The change, which applies to the tree's trunks and branches, but not the root system, began about 25 years ago, according to the new research published in the Nature magazine. Trees store carbon as they grow and release it when they decay and die. Overall, tropical forests are thought to be carbon sinks, absorbing more CO2 than they release. That's kind of the going logic. And uptake is assumed to increase amid rising atmospheric concentration. But nearly 50 years of data collected from tropical forests across Queensland have revealed this crucial carbon sink could be under threat. About 25 years ago, tree trunks and branches in the forests became a net emitter, with more trees dying and insufficient new growth, according to research. Quote, "It's the first tropical forest of its kind to show this symptom of change," said lead author Dr. Hannah Carl from Western Sydney University. We know that the moist tropics in Australia occupy a bit of a warmer, drier climate space than tropical forests on other continents, and therefore it might serve as a future analog for what tropical forests will experience in other parts of the world. Professor Adrian Nicotra from the Australian National University, a co-author of the study, said it remained to be seen whether Australia's tropical forests were a harbinger for other tropical forests globally, and further research was needed. Professor David Carley, an emeritus professor at the University of Melbourne and an expert in climate change and science, who was not involved in the research, said on a global scale that Brian is going way too fast for me. But he said on a global scale that the share of carbon dioxide absorbed by forests, trees, and plants had been quite stable over the past 20 to 30 years, which was assumed to continue under many climate models and policies. But if similar shifts from sinks to source were observed in other rainforests, climate projections may underestimate global warming future, which is bad news. I wish I had a stream deck right now just to say, good news, everyone. Climate change is going faster than we expected. So, long story short, even the trees that we thought were going to go ahead and become carbon sinks, they are now becoming carbon emitters. I wonder why. Couldn't help. It may just be because of, I don't know, all of the arson fires that happen in fucking Australia every year.
I wouldn't say that, but I don't really see it being that big of a deal, because there is that select amount of it, with nature. They're just gonna coexist even better. The rest of the fauna is just gonna grow bigger. So I can only see like the rest of the nature and those rainforests over there just flourishing even more, if that is the case. Because it's not like this huge thing. And even if it was, they were emitting some outstanding amount, all that would do is just give more food for all the rest of the fauna and the rest of the world to create more oxygen. So it's like, okay. And it's not like other shit's coming out of it. I don't know. That's
in all due fairness, that's fair. And that, I can't dispute that opinion. All I would say, though, is that The Guardian is pseudoscience in nature anyways, because what are they trying to guard? Your attention. But no, at the end of the day, I find it both hysterically laughable and a level of bullshit I can only describe as generational. That people who give a shit about the environment to protect the human species are hell-bent on doing everything they can to reduce the human species population. So it's basically trying to kill us to save us. That sort of thing.
Yeah. No.
It's almost like that. It's almost like that evil paradox. You know, you got to commit evil to eliminate evil, but yet evil remains.
Yeah. So I'm all for like doing better. Like I'm for how clean we as a nation are. You know, if you're gonna compare us to India, no, it's like the dirtiest place in the fucking world. You know, that place is gross. So like I do believe are we talking pick up after yourself? You know, don't cause pollution if you don't have to. You know, it's just a human thing. Like since the inception of us, it's just something that we've always done. Unless you're Indian. But yeah, I don't see it. Like I don't see how this could be a big deal. But going into what you're saying is you gotta commit evil to treat evil. So
again, it's a hypocritical series of logic steps that the Democrat Party has when it comes to climate change. Because they don't want to embrace nuclear power, which is the most energy efficient source of energy we have on Earth. Mm-hmm. Instead, they want to go with solar and wind, which have been shown to cause detrimental effects in the soil and in the bird population of certain species of birds, depending on where the windmills are located. And then on top of that, with abortion, gender transitions, and lax law enforcement, they all lead to hundreds of thousands and if not millions of deaths every year needlessly for the sake of what? Trying to preserve the human population? It's like, no. And that's with the climate change. And for me, the one linchpin argument I've yet to hear from any Democrat or any climate scientist, any environmentalist, I've yet to hear what the conversion rate is for the amount of carbon or carbon dioxide necessary to change the temperature of an environment by 1 degree Celsius at standard pressure. I have yet to hear any quantifiable number for that conversion. Because if you know how much carbon dioxide it takes to adjust the temperature of an environment by 1 degree Celsius, that means you know how much carbon dioxide you need to take out of the atmosphere or out of an environment to cool that environment, right?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And if you don't know how much CO2 to get rid of, how do you know you've done a good job? How do you know? Well, oh darn. I was just going to make a point that with more CO2 in the atmosphere, we'd get more crops. And with more crops, you get tiny, tiny insects.
Yeah, Jen is why they bring up a study I heard 15 years ago. But let's go to the next one.
Well, no, I was saying that, hey, because we're getting more crops, we have the tiniest insect recorded on a photograph in human history presented before us. Quote.
This is actually pretty cool.
The photo's fantastic. But from ARS Technica, rice weevil on a grain of rice wins 2025 Nikon Small World Contest. Literally, that is 1 grain of rice that this weevil is sitting on. Quote, a stunning image of a rice weevil.
Weevil. Okay,
if it's weevil, it's weevil. Weevil on a single grain of rice has won the 2025 Nikon Small World Photo Micrography Contest, yielding valuable insight into the structure and behavior of, and providing a fresh perspective on, this well-known agricultural pest. The image was taken by Zhang Yao of Yunnan, China. Another of Yu's photographs placed 15th in this year's contest. Quote, it pays to dive deep into entomology, understanding insects' behaviors, and mastering lighting. You said in a statement. Oh, God. A standout work blends artistry with scientific rigor, capturing the very essence of energy and spirit of these creatures. There was an element of luck in creating his winning image, too. I had observed rice weevils in grains before, but never one with its wings spread, you said. This one was naturally preserved on a windowsill, perhaps in a final attempt to escape. Its tiny size makes manually preparing spread wing specimens extremely difficult, so encountering it was both serendipitous and inspiring. Nikon's annual contest was founded in 1974 to showcase the beauty and complexity of things seen through the light microscope. Photomicrography involves attaching a camera to a microscope so that the user can take photographs of objects at very high resolutions. British physiologist Richard Hill Norris, I am definitely commandeering that, Richard Hill Norris was one of the first to use it for his studies of blood cells in 1850, and the method has increasingly been highlighted as art since the 1970s. There have been many groundbreaking technological advances in the ensuing decade, particularly with the advent of digital imaging methods. This year's competition received over 1,900 submissions from 77 countries. A panel of judges evaluated the submissions based on originality, informational content, technical proficiency, and visual impact. Featured below are the remaining top 20 winners of this year's contest, with subjects ranging from rat liver cells, sunflower trichomes, and slime mold releasing spores, to a moth laying eggs and a parasitic fungus invading a fly, among other microscopic marvels. You can check out the full list of winners below. Oh my God.
I'm not gonna lie, those photos do sound like they would be pretty awesome to see. Oh, there they are. I don't know.
Pollen in a garden spider web. All I can say is, like, I don't know how these images aren't AI generated. Like, this is too fantastical, too phantasmal of imagery to not be AI. Like, this is real. These are 100% real objects, real images found and submitted using photomicrography. Like, that's a hellscape right there. That looks like fangs from a tick. Like,
that is awesome.
Holy shit. Like, oh my God. I don't even want to start captioning these. Like,
those
see,
are gorgeous.
that's a supernova.
See, I'm curious. Look at that. I'm curious to how they chose this one. Like these tiny ones. Like, look at that. Those look like they were done with like a micron,
like electron microscope.
Yeah, excuse me. Like some of these, like these colors are just insane.
They
Is that cool?
they are insane. I thought this was the fungus trying to take over the fly.
I don't know what it is, but that is. So how did they end up choosing the weevil over these? That'd have been.
If I had to guess, it's probably because when the weevil was on the grain of rice, its wings were expanded, and it was that much more difficult to capture the image of. Okay. But at the end of the day, it's still a stunning photograph. It's still stunning imagery that's coming out of these super highly complex photomicrographers. It's like, holy shit, how is this not AI generated? But you definitely know what is AI generated, though, Tay. Our next segment.
Caption this. Let's go. No,
I'm not AI generated, but that is.
No, this is real as shit. What are you talking about? This is
Oh
real
no,
photo-
no. I went to a very dark place very quickly. Oh. Ah. Brian, why you do these? Oh no. So you remember that scene from The Lion King where you've got the 3 hyenas going ahead and slowly approaching Simba?
Yeah.
Uno reverse card.
Oh.
Again, the more you think about it, the worse it gets. Oh no. Hey, you son of a bitch!
No, the hyena's here.
The reason why I'm laughing a bit harder than I should for yours is because there was a YouTube channel called MXR Plays, and their
Right.
outro would be the hyenas come. That portion of the
I have
song.
to take a look at it.
Oh, they're now a defunct channel because YouTube told them to fuck off.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Hardy! No! But
Is it the
yes!
First season of The View. Yeah. Brian in our ears. He's like, automatic line. I like that one.
Oh my God.
Okay, you guys can't see me, but you can hear me. I'm on stage. Before the show, I briefed Nevassa that the person who got closest to the prompt that actually generated this automatically wins. The prompt that generated this was The View, but they're hyenas.
Oh wow. That's spot on.
In my defense, I immediately was thinking hyena al pastor.
Hyena what?
Hyena al pastor.
Oh. No, that was-
Because in my defense, the crowd was majority Latin.
so I'm thinking
So it's like-
old abuelitas making like some tacos for it.
See, all the abuelitas looking at the hyenas is like, oh, I can make lingua.
That is awesome. I can't
And
believe it.
And if
Nailed it.
oh fucking hell. I'm sorry, chat, but congrats, Hardy. Hardy hit the win con date. Like first guest, first entry, like fucking reading Brian's mind over here. See, told you, Hardy. Told you. Hardy agrees with me. Central Asia meat market. Central Asia meat market.
I don't get it.
You don't know? You don't remember Wuhan?
Oh yeah. Sorry. I'm out of it today, man. I'm
I
running
know
like
you
on
are. You're out of it.
5 speeds.
Again, half the time you're out of it because you're sleep deprived, and the other half is because you are other deprived.
No, it's just usually sleep. It's always just sleep.
Again, there's worse things for you. But no,
Yeah.
God damn it, Hardy. You're having to make us end the show early.
That's
You
all right.
couldn't let us. You couldn't let us do it, Brian. Next time, I'm going to make the prompt for Monday. But no, in all seriousness, thank you guys with the Sunset Rants. Thank you for the caption this. I will definitely make that into a t-shirt, Hardy. And then hopefully sometime in the future, it'll become a thing. But
That
like I said, Tay,
that would be a perfect one.
oh, absolutely. Season 1 of The View.
I would love to like have that as like a tank top, like a black tank top, as I go to a bar.
Hey, you know where else you can get merch like that, man? Eventually
Right
it'll
up there.
be up there. RiseOfMiddleAmerica.com, baby. You can find all of our channels, all of the producers, all of the shows, and heck, even all the merch that comes with it. With that QR code way up there, so high that even my hand is lost in space. But go for a round 2 then. I'm sorry, Rick, but no. But in all seriousness, tomorrow we've got FAFO Fridays with Fluffy and his crew. We've got the drive-in. We got Sunset Rants. Every Wednesday, 10:30 Eastern. We got Roma Sports with Roma and Gargi, and every other week myself. There's a lot of stuff that we're doing. And like I said at the beginning of the show, I am eternally grateful that the show and the channel has gotten over 1,000 subs. Please like and subscribe, share this show with your friends, your family, and just being able to say, hey, it's a different source. It's a different series of opinions. And I like to think that my little quirks and gaffes make things just a little interesting enough to keep your attention. Just a little. But no, Tay, where can they find you?
Man, you're just taking up my whole show. I love it. No, you can find me on AP2 Tay is where you find me for everything, man. I really do appreciate you.
AP2 Tay or AP Tay?
AP2. AP2 is a chassis.
AP2 Tay.
So I've had
see,
so AP2 is the chassis for 2007.
See, Tay over here just has enough charisma and chutzpah that he needs to have his own mechanic show. Like, there's a YouTube channel called Dad Teaches, or How to Do Things with Dad. And it's basically all the stuff that your dad forgot to teach you. So now he's taking it upon himself to teach the internet. Like how to change your oil, how to change a tire, etc. And holy shit, that is a very beautiful car.
Yeah, it was. It just got totaled a little while ago, so I'm in the process of buying another one.
Oh, I am so sorry.
Drunk drivers.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That happens.
That's why our insurance premiums are too damn high. But no, you can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Lord Nevassa, Kick Just Nevassa. But no, thank you guys for being here. Another wonderful week ended on a really good note. Hopefully the carrot and stick approach works with John Thune and the Senate, but we'll see you guys on Monday for more Sunset Rants. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for FAFO Fridays with Fluffy and the crew. Till next time, thank you guys for being here. I will see you guys next Thursday. Tay, you try to have a good night.
Oh, man, yeah. Cook me some Fridays, and I'm going to go to sleep. You did the whole thing, man. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Later,
Semper Fi, assholes.
So I got to thinking, there's MAHA, Make America Healthy Again. MAGA, Make America Great Again. But what we really need to do is make America follow the Constitution again. Motherfucker. That sounded better in my head.